What if I told you that you could get better sound quality out of an Echo Dot for less than you would spend on the full-size Echo? Well, today we're going to talk about speakers for the Amazon Echo, so stay tuned. So right now, if you want to buy a speaker that has Alexa built in and you don't want to spend a lot of money, then the best option is the Echo Dot. Now, if you've ever tried to use one of these for music, you probably realize pretty quickly that it sounds horrible. Now, both of the bigger Echo speakers do sound great for their size, but what if you really want to bump some music, especially for a bigger room? Well, this is where that aux port comes in handy. Now, of course, you have endless options for speakers and you can connect your Echo to some really big speakers like I did in my basement, but I'm going to focus on the best bang for your buck to get room filling sound. Now, I do also use the Google Home, but I'll be doing a separate video for that, so you Google Home users, be sure to look out for that video. So you have two options for connecting speakers to the Amazon Echo and the Echo Dot. You can either connect them to a Bluetooth speaker, which is a great option if you already have one laying around, or you can use the aux port to connect pretty much any type of speakers you want. So I like to play my music really loud, and I'm using the Echo in a pretty big room, so I've tried a few different speaker setups. Now, the soundbar that I have in my family room does work really well for this, but I always had to make sure that it was on the right input in order for it to work, which was kind of a pain. So after trying a bunch of different setups, the ones that I liked actually surprised me. So which speakers did I go with? Well, I fell in love with the Logitech Z623 speaker system. So this 2.1 system costs anywhere between $100 to $120 when it's on sale. It comes with two THX certified satellite speakers and a super powerful 7-inch subwoofer. It has the volume and bass controls right on the speakers, which is helpful if you want to make some quick volume or bass adjustments. And speaking of bass, I really love bass, if you couldn't tell by my home theater setup. And I could tell by the weight of the box when I picked it up at Micro Center that the sub was going to be powerful. So I'm putting these speakers in my kitchen, and I actually ended up putting the subwoofer in one of my kitchen cabinets. I know that's not ideal, but I did have to hide it somewhere. Now, some people might think this sub is a bit too overpowering, but I have to say that I love it, especially considering that I listen mostly to hip hop and R&B music. But luckily it does have that bass knob right there because I did eventually have to turn it down some. Another really cool thing about this speaker system is that it actually has two inputs. So I actually have the Echo Dot and the Chromecast audio connected to it at the same time, so I can play music from the Echo or the Google Home without having to switch anything out. So I got the Z623 from Micro Center for $100 after getting them to price match Amazon's sale price. So this means that the whole setup cost me just $140 once you add the price of the Echo. I even bought some really inexpensive $30 and $40 speaker systems that sounded great as well. They were definitely louder and sounded better than the full-size Echo, but they didn't quite fill the room to my liking. Now, I do have to admit the Z623 wasn't actually my first choice. My first choice was actually the set of JBL LSR 308 speakers that you always see on the desk behind me. These things sound really great and they're super clear and accurate, but they're too big to put in my kitchen and they're not really made to fill a room with sound. Now, of course, listening to music from a YouTube video isn't going to do these speakers any justice, but I'll at least try my best to let you hear the difference. So I'll be using the original Echo for this comparison since it sounds better than the new version to make this comparison a little bit more fair.
Watch the breakdown.
Okay, so even though I absolutely love this speaker setup, let's talk about some of the things I don't like. So the first issue is pretty obvious, and that's that if you're blasting music from these speakers at full volume, you can pretty much forget about Alexa hearing you over the speakers. This means you're either gonna have to control it from your phone using the Alexa voice remote or walk over to the Echo and hit the button. The second issue is that I'm not a huge fan of the design of these speakers, and considering that you're probably gonna sit them somewhere out in the open, you definitely want something that you think looks good. You also have to consider whether you're okay with having a subwoofer out in the open if you go with a 2.1 setup. But other than those two things, I'm perfectly happy with this setup and I can't recommend it enough. So I do want to hear your thoughts, guys. What kind of speakers are you using with your Echo? Are you using speakers with your Echo? If you have any suggestions on some similar speakers in this price range or whatever, let me know what you're using. I'm interested to see your comments in the comments section. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, go ahead and mash that like button for me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.